you are.
Okay, we're calling the meeting to order for the Dudley Assessors. First in attendance is Mr. Brusso and myself, and our assessor, Lisa. We're gonna get started. You have to make the motion. There's only two of us.
I move that we accept the minutes from the meeting of September 8th, 2017.
Second and unanimous here on number 3.
I move to accept the motor vehicle abatements for September and October in the amount of $3566.52.
Seconded and unanimous.
I move to approve $4,010.10 in rollback taxes for property owned by Edwin Zajac.
Seconded and unanimous.
I vote to approve the levy 2017 commitment number 5 in the amount of $50,209.96.
Seconded and unanimous.
Can I inquire what the partial lien release for parcel number 6 for parcel with 30,000 square feet on Corbin Road?
Yes, so that's a house lot that they were moving from chapter land that they're going to build a house on.
Okay.
So it's only a portion of the chapter land. So we were leasing the lien, that the chapter 61A lien that we have on it for that portion.
And they're going to pay I assume they're going to pay back a portion?
They don't have to because they're selling it to a family member. And you're exempt from that when you transfer it to a family member.
What happens, just out of curiosity, what happens when that family member should transfer it to a third party?
No rollback taxes. Because it's already been transferred to a non-use. And then that non-use can be transferred because it's not in 61A, there's no rollback taxes too if he transfers it.
So is that a way of avoiding
They
the
could.
rollback taxes?
That's interesting.
I've never seen it happen, but yeah, they could.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
But you verified that there's a family member and
Yep.
it's an appropriate,
They had the same last name, so it was and they told me it was the son, so.
you had a genealogical search done?
Absolutely, and DNA.
I move that we approve the partial lien release then.
Seconded and unanimous.
So,
We've got 3 exemptions I think we need to look at.
Oh, no, the number 7.
Number 7.
So these are 2 new liens, transfer of names.
I'm sorry?
The next 2 under number 7, those are 2 new liens. The lien was under an old owner that had it in 61A, and they've transferred it to somebody who's going to continue to use, so we have to put the lien in the owner's name.
And that's for both parcels?
For both, yep.
I so move.
Seconded and unanimous.
So we have some exemptions. So applicant A, we verified, is this someone that we previously?
She actually was getting the elderly exemption, which I'm asking you to vote to deny under new business. She has a hard time filling out the elderly application of which she qualifies for, but the blind exemption is a much easier application. She just attaches her certificate from the blind, and it's the same amount. The exemption is the same amount for either, so it's just easier for her.
Well, then I vote we approve the exemption for applicant A.
Seconded and unanimous.
Applicant B, you have verified that that gentleman is a veteran.
We have his DD 214 and his disability letter.
Then I vote we approve the exemption for applicant B.
Seconded and unanimous.
And on applicant C, verified that that gentleman is, in fact, qualifies as an elderly.
Yep, he meets the income and asset guidelines.
Then I so move.
Seconded and unanimous. We don't have any old business that's before us?
No old business.
And could you,
Conrad's not here.
Yeah.
so these are parts.
There's no monkey business either.
how about on the new business? What, let's see. Were these things that came in later, was that it?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. All right, so,
Then I move to vote to approve the levy 2017 motor vehicle excise recommitment number 18.
okay, second and unanimous.
Quite a bit, 31,000. Those are commitments that came in late again.
Right, so that would be people that registered cars later on in the year that were not billed. So the big commitment comes in the beginning of the year for everything that's registered as of 1/1. And then about every 3 months we get new commitments for people that registered cars over the course of the year.
Then I vote to approve levy limits 2017 number 6.
Second and unanimous.
And I assume the next one is similar where the boats come in.
Boats get
Later in the
billed.
year?
Yeah, boats get billed once a year.
Okay. I vote to approve the levy 2017 boat excise number 30.
Okay, second and unanimous.
Okay, the applicant D, and you verified that the applicant meets the guidelines?
Right, this was a revote. It was under her and her husband's name, and her husband passed away, and he always filed. So now because she's filing it, we have to vote as a new person, and she meets the income and asset requirements.
Well, we want to take care of the widows, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. I vote to approve applicant D.
Okay, second and unanimous.
Okay, you've already explained
Yeah.
applicant E.
Right.
I vote to deny applicant E's abatement.
Second and unanimous. Okay, so we have a upcoming classification hearing. You're already scheduled for November 27th with the assessors.
Right, with the selectmen.
Oh,
So
you're right, thank you.
it's been put in the paper for this week and next week under the legal ads. I have to advertise for 1 to 2 weeks before we do that because it's a...
Can you give a short explanation so anybody who's watching can understand what that is about?
Sure. So what we do is, I have to go before the Board of Selectmen every year and explain to them why they should vote on a single tax rate as opposed to a split tax rate. They have the option to do either, and the board always recommends a single tax rate because we have very little industrial and commercial properties in town. So basically what we can do is we can say, all right, we're going to shift some of the burden off the residential properties tax-wise and shift it over to the commercial and industrial properties, and they'll pay more. We don't want to do that because we don't have a lot of large businesses in town. I mean, we have like 3 major businesses, and then we have Mass Electric and Boston Gas, and they're everywhere. You know, they can afford to pay the shift, but the rest we have is like mom and pop shops, pizza places, hair salons, liquor stores. It would really hurt the little businesses in town.
So it really won't support it all that well, is basically it. If we had a lot more that were happening, then it would make sense. And so larger towns tend to do it, but it's not a good situation for us to do.
And I do a comparison of 5 to 6 surrounding towns, and the only one I believe in that has a split tax rate is Webster, and Webster, as of next year, should be going back to a single tax rate.
Oh, that's interesting.
I spoke with the assessor over there. There was a 10-year plan. It took them 10 years to get to where they are, and they're hoping that next year they're going to have a single tax rate, and they have a lot more commercial and industrial properties than we do. So.
Okay. Do we have anything coming up that people need to be aware of regarding their ownership, as far as abatements, questioning anything?
Tax bills should be going out by December 31st. If you're unhappy with your assessment, you think you're assessed too high, or there's an error, check your fields card that you can get right online at Vision Appraisal. If there's any errors, bring it to my attention and fill out an application by February 1st. and we can deduct that off the tax bill if we adjust it. But I encourage everybody, go online and check out your fields card and make sure the property is correct. If you feel as though you're over-assessed for any reason, bring your documentation into me proving that our assessment is incorrect. Fill out the application, and you, as the board, would take a look at it and vote as to whether or not they are over-assessed.
Okay.
Exemption applications, you have until, I believe, March 31st to get those in. We try to get them all in before the tax bills get printed so that the exemption's pre-printed on the tax bill for
Okay.
everybody. But you don't, if you didn't, don't panic. You still have till March 31st to come in and get it. You won't lose it. After that, you will.
Good. All right, anything else, anything controversial happening we need to have an awareness of in the community regarding assessments or taxes or anything along those
It's
lines?
been pretty quiet. It looks like the tax rate's going to go down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm proposing $11.73, and it's $11.94 now.
Yeah.
Our single-family homes have gone up an average of 6% this year.
Oh, good.
So there's
Okay.
quite a hike. Our industrial has gone up, I believe, 3%.
Yeah.
So we are seeing an increase in values, therefore we have a decrease in the tax rate.
Okay.
So the tax will pretty much be the same.
Right, yeah, right.
Balances out.
It balances
Yes.
out in the end.
Okay. Anything that you needed to bring up, Mr. Brusso?
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay, I know December 8th I have a conflict on that.
Okay.
So I'm not going to suggest we set it until we find out if Conrad's available and at least two other, Mr. Brusso is available.
Are you available the week after that? I'll give Conrad a couple of dates. Do you?
Yeah, I could do the week after, that'll be
It's going
fine.
to be December 15th.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that, Tom?
I believe so.
Okay, so tentatively we'd be looking at the 15th then.
Yeah.
All right. Then I guess we can entertain a motion to adjourn.
Then I will move to adjourn.
Seconded and unanimous. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ted, you have to